This is Dungeon Not Included, the actual play podcast for the adventurous listener. You are listening to our game of Vampire the Masquerade from White Wolf Publishing. Frank is your storyteller. Alex plays Merryweather Quackenbush. Brennan plays Lex Deluxe. And Red plays Charlie Clark. Our theme music is by Seamus Ronan. Hi everyone, welcome to Dungeon Not Included with video. I'm Frank, I'm storytelling because of a bad decision I made a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to pull in our esteemed guests and co-podcast hosts one at a time. Brennan, how are you?
Good. Doing well.
Alex and Red.
Hey.
How are all of you? I don't just care about
Red.
Go for it, Red.
I was just gonna say I am swamped with university schoolwork, so not the best I've ever been, but
this is the part of the podcast we talk at least 20 minutes about what games we're playing that are on other things and our coursework.
Yeah,
right.
I'm currently balancing report cards for my middle schoolers and playing Medium on Xbox, which is pretty awesome if you guys are looking for a good supernatural thriller horror game. It's about it's got a cool split screen mechanic where you go in between two worlds, so like you're all of a sudden controlling like two people simultaneously, one in like the real world and one in the nether, so like clues might be in one side of the world and then it helps you unlock stuff on the other. I don't know, it's pretty fun.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
we should be playing that.
Link it. Yeah, please. I'd love that.
Oh yes, so I guess we should catch everyone up because it's probably been close to a week, maybe a little over a week for those of you listening to the podcast that you may not have heard. We finished our arc of Bulldogs, at least the current arc of Bulldogs, and we did that a couple of weeks ago with a big long epic guest spot where Graucom met his tragic end.
What? Did I miss something?
Well, in that he is hanging out with Sticky. And
did you guys do an episode without me and just like wrote me off in the background?
No, the tragic end.
We promised we wouldn't tell Alex.
Corporate galactic center point. I don't know. Yes, so yeah, we've reached the end of that story. We'll probably go back to it at some point, but we decided on in a very, very classically dumb way to play World of Darkness, specifically Vampire 2nd Edition. This is 1991's Vampire 2nd Edition right here. That's right, the book that they didn't even think was done. They were like, no, we gotta do a revised 2nd edition. Nope, we're doing 2nd edition. Let's talk a little bit about why we did Vampire. I think nostalgia is my major reason. I have so many World of Darkness books, and I have no reason. I don't want to throw them out. I like them, but I just don't play it ever. And I truly just enjoyed the game because it was a very specific moment in my life. Did any of you ever play this game?
I've played one 2-part campaign. It was like a 1-shot that turned into a 2-shot, and it was very fun. Though I could not, just like when we played Bulldogs, I'm going to only probably actually understand how the system works on the last show that we do for.
Oh yeah.
Like I finally understood how to play Bulldogs, and then we ended the campaign, which is perfect.
I would say that we ended the campaign because you.
That's
right. Like, all right,
anytime Alex figures things out, we gotta cut it quick.
Yeah,
that's right. I played the hell out of this game back in the early 90s. My then girlfriend, now wife, was really into vampires and also role playing, and so I saw this little book on the shelf, and I was like, "This is a surefire way to get her to spend more time with me."
That clearly worked. I love that you can literally tie your marriage to this game. Like there is for good or bad, I guess.
I was born at the end of the 90s, so I was not in the height of the vampire craze, and I've never played it, but I do think monsters are hot, so it's definitely up my alley.
Mhm.
And if you've never read Carmilla, go read it right now. It's a novella. It's like 150 pages long. Very good. First lesbian vampire.
Well, don't do it right now. I mean, wait. Like,
I'm about to leave and just
do
go
it.
download it immediately.
You have to. You got it. Go do it. My computer is lagging trying to open up Roll20 because, as a good storyteller, I have not opened up any of my tools, and I'm not even sure if I set it up correctly where you can all see the same screens I can. So I might be doing a lot of this through interpretive dance. We'll find out. We'll play to find out. I do have one thing to share before we begin. I was going to save this as a commercial break, but since I'm still stalling for time, I want to give you a little hint of the amazingness that was 90s World of Darkness, specifically the vampire role-playing game, because, World of Darkness had a lot of different supplements, but I think by far the most popular was Vampire, and I can prove it by showing you, hopefully, this clip.
We're all around you.
I can't tell when we're back. There we go.
I'm so
That
hyped.
was on television.
Yes, it was. It was a TV show. It ran for one season.
Oh,
There was a Vampire the Masquerade television show?
Yes, there was. Called Kindred the
Take
Embrace.
that, D&D.
where can this
Even
be
before the
streamed
Dungeons and Dragons
immediately?
movie with Wayans, there was a film version of World of Darkness product. I've never seen a single episode of that show, but
I'm looking
looks
for it
like
right
if-
now.
I think it's on
It looks
YouTube.
like if What We Do in the Shadows was like played straight.
Yeah, that's really it.
That's
To be
pretty much
honest,
what it was like.
and honestly, if I had more faith in our comedic timing, I'd be like, let's do What We Do in Shadows and Vampire. But we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. Let's talk a little bit about our characters, introduce them, and then actually before
It's for the record, it is all on YouTube, and now this
in
is my
very
life.
poor quality,
Oh yeah,
which
it got posted a year ago, almost January 21st, 2020, and it has less than 5,000 views. I'm excited to join that number.
here's
Our
the
many
weird
fans
thing.
are now going to go and swamp that.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
Indeed.
Here's the very weird thing is that since announcing this, which was purely just a random, like I moved 2 years ago and I'm opening up boxes and finding role-playing books. Everyone's been showering me with like links and like recently written, like Vampire's just going through its 5th edition right now.
Yeah.
It's getting a resurgence, and we have not planned that, and we are not going to capitalize on it. This is a very out-of-date book. But
We're
hopefully
playing
it'll
first
come out.
edition.
What I would like to do is have everyone introduce their characters, and then maybe we're going to come up with connections between the 3 player characters, because it's going to just make it a lot easier for us to have reasons why you're interacting at the start. So anybody want to go first and describe their character and what their deal is?
Should go oldest to youngest.
Yeah.
So
Eric,
me.
all right.
Character.
Yes, I'm the youngest player, but I'm the oldest character. So I am playing Charlie Clark, who she was a cowboy in the late 1800s who got bitten. I don't know what the terminology is here.
Embraced.
Embrace, of course, because we have to be drama queens about this.
The bile embraced, of course.
Embrace. It's ridiculous. And if you say otherwise, you are lying. But she was embraced and used her vampire powers to build up a reputation as the toughest and fastest sharpshooter west of the Mississippi.
Love it. I love it. All right. And when everybody introduces their character, we'll think about how we connect together. Who is next in age? I actually don't know whether Meriwether or Lex is older.
I'm Gen 13. That's all I know.
Well, yeah, but when were you embraced?
3 days after you, so you can go first.
I was embraced in the, let's see, it would be the early 80s. So,
oh no, then I feel like I'm older than that.
okay.
How long is a generation? A generation? Because they
Because
live
I-
forever. So
Still
could like
defined because it's generation is how close you are to allegedly the first vampire. So it.
But
it
like, so like
could-
I could create if I like really talk to people, I could create like 7 generations in a week, right? Like, because I could be like, I'm gonna bite you, and then tomorrow you're gonna bite the next guy, and then you're gonna bite the next guy, and just keep. So like a generation could theoretically be hundreds of years difference between people.
yes.
So long.
Yeah, it
Okay.
could be.
I'm gonna say my character has been around. I want to say he's been around since the Victorian era, and in the art scene for a while. In that, not that he has any of the. I am not putting on any sort of accent to corroborate that at all.
There's almost going to be a no accent rule. It'll happen
Yeah.
accidentally, but I already
Yeah.
know some of the NPCs. I'm like, I hope I don't do an accent.
Yeah.
I really hope I don't.
So
do it.
basically, what you're saying is that Charlie and Meriwether were contemporaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think it would actually be pretty cool if we actually knew each other from back then. Just my generations were faster in their birth. I don't know how you'd put
Sure.
that. They're embraced more often. I don't. But yeah, so he's worked his way through the art scene to become basically a art dealer / fence / he works to curate a lot of the mini museums that you find in a lot of the casino hotels. His company, I'm going to say it's going to be Shadowbox Studios. I think sounds pretty good. My first instinct was Nos for Art too, but I figured that might be a little. I thought I'd get an eye
A
roll.
little bit
on the
too
nose.
on the nose.
Considering I originally wanted us to be at a vampire themed casino, I got shut down pretty quick on that. I figured Nos for Arts 2 wasn't going to work. But yeah, Shadowbox Incorporated. How's that?
Okay.
That's
Nice.
the
Very nice.
company.
All right.
Oh, and I'm a
and then-
Toreador. Right? They should probably know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
Clan that your vampire is.
I'm a Bruja.
That's right.
Yeah, Toreador.
Be rootin',
All right.
be
Finally,
tootin',
Lex.
but by
Lex
God, be
Deluxe.
shooting.
Yeah. Lex Deluxe was a glam rocker in the early 80s. So, you know, like Velvet Goldmine style music and flashy clothes and lots of drugs, which blew his mind out. And he has become a Malkavian vampire and continues to tour the 90s Vegas party circuit and likes to feed on people who are also high. So
That's awesome. Love it.
Perfect.
All right. Great character. Well, before we do our like bonds effectively, connecting our characters together, because of the way this is set up, we don't actually know who left this comment for us. Well, I think if you're in the Non-Pro Fan Club Facebook group, you have to hit StreamYard, give permissions to it. But if you go over to Twitch, you probably don't have to do permissions. We'll just pop up your name if you have color banter for us throughout the night. Anyways, let's talk about how our characters are connected. We know that you are temporally, what a douchey way of saying it, temporally connected. Temporally connected. All right.
You're getting in the real spirit of vampire.
He's embracing it.
That's how you say you were around at the same time playing vampire. You say temporally connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus
Anyways,
Christ.
Meriwether and Charlie are around the same time. So how long have you, maybe we'll dial back just a bit and I'll do a little bit of background on Las Vegas, which is where we're playing. Las Vegas in 1990. So you have a better idea of what the world is like. It was, in case you didn't know, Las Vegas was pretty much nothing for many, many decades until around the 30s and 50s, 30s through the 50s, where like casinos started getting built up. It literally was popularized by the mafia and an attempt to build interesting things for people to visit out in the middle of nowhere where there's like a little bit of an oasis. There's some prehistory that predates any of these characters that we don't really have to worry about too much, but around the 30s would probably be where most people would go. And for vampires, especially this group of vampires, you want there to be people around to feed on. So you probably weren't really heavily invested here until around that time or just beforehand when the railroad showed up. What else is there? There aren't many vampires in Vegas. It is sort of a punishment zone for the Camarilla. For those of you who don't know, people who are watching, Camarilla is the secret society of vampires that control everything. There are basically 7 clans of vampires within the Camarilla, and their rule is be chill. Keep the masquerade. Don't reveal the fact that there are vampires. Humans can kill us. The fact that Las Vegas is kind of in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by desert. It makes it a good place to put problematic vampires, to get them out of the way if you don't want them to cause trouble. And that's basically what we're going to do, because it also makes it fun so that we could kind of fill in the higher echelons and ranks of vampire politic as we go along. You know, the Prince, he's been around for around the same time as Charlie and Meriwether has been. I could go into a little details for him if you need it. He's a douche. He's a venture. Nobody likes him. And there are very few other leading clan members that like control the politics of this city. It's just keep it low profile. Don't kill too many people, or not at all if you can, and everything should be cool. This is a tourist town. People come and go all the time. And there was a deep, seedy underground of organized crime and all that other stuff. But most of that has come to an end like around 10 years ago. The 60s was the heyday. 60s and 70s were the heyday. For Vegas, it's kind of gotten downhill a little bit in the 80s, and now it's the 90s, and it just sort of tepid. Hotels are still going up. Humans still visit, but it's nowhere near as cool as it was back when Goodfellas was made, or was set. Not when it was made. That would be in the future. Anyways, all right. So get a little bit of idea what the world has been like. If you're spending a lot of time in Vegas, maybe we should go Charlie and Meriwether. What are how do you know each other? What's your relationship?
We don't really seem to run in the same circles. I'm more of a rough and tumble kind of gal.
All right, so I have an idea. Do you tell me what you think about this? Mm-hmm. So I try to rationalize to myself exactly why would you and I have met years ago when Vegas wasn't actually what it is until much later. And my thought is that Meriwether had come to New England in the 1860s and had gotten in on the the big architecture scene and museum scene that was starting to come up in New York, Massachusetts, and so on, but saw an unfulfilled place in the use of the Transcontinental Railroad. Right, the 1869 it was completed, and there were tons of boom towns that were building up all around along the way. Eventually, one of them was going to be the next New York, at least in his mind. That's how he saw it. So I think that he hacked up a bunch of his art, got on trains, and started making his way across trying to find what locations between here and California were going to be the next big one. And I think that along the way, he got stopped and ended up in the same town as Charlie, either of his own accord or because this is a place where they punish people. We can decide that later. Maybe I got all the way to California and they were like, you know what? We're going to send you back a couple of pegs and, you're going to hang out in Vegas. But I think that we probably found each other through me being, let's just for the fun of it, let's say I got sent there. We can figure out why later. I'm being punished and sent there. And you and I tried to establish, class and sophistication in an area that was very lawless, I think.
All right. That
Sure.
works. What do you think, Charlie?
I think that makes sense. Although I think we probably would have butted heads quite a few times if that were the case.
I would probably guess that with me attempting to do that and likely in order to accomplish that, having to like hobnob with anybody who would be in any sort of power, you may have very well just been the muscle for that power. And at that time, or you just ran in the same group as the muscle for that power.
Yeah.
So we probably tangentially met each other through me happen to be in the background when you're in a bar fight.
Probably something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to try. This is not going to seem really clear, but I'm going to read out to you when we add it. There was a description of the 4 different NPCs that exist in the background.
Okay.
So far, nothing has stomped on anything that they exist. If we come up with something that makes this more interesting, we could scrap any of the characters that already exist and replace them with something else from your backgrounds. But so far, it seems like it's working pretty well. Let's talk a little bit about Lex and how Lex connects with everyone. I think Lex and Merryweather connect pretty easily.
Yeah,
or at least I have
think there's definitely a social scene that crosses over between Merryweather and Lex.
I'm picturing that you probably have you or your manager have probably paid me lots of money for all the stuff you have broken during your benders and such at these fancy parties that I've been invited to. Like, oh, we're going to have it in this penthouse. Can you bring up this fancy art or statues and have this place decked out? And then you get there and just do your thing and things break.
It happens.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I'd like to pitch. Obviously, take it or leave it. If Merryweather is doing some black market art stuff, and if you do dabble with supernaturals, like other vampires are going to these black market things, it makes sense. Or it to me seems like it would be cool to have Lex be almost like the in-house music to those events, right? Like part of it is like, come to this black market event, hobnob with some humans who have no idea who we are, turn up your Auspex so you could see all the weird stuff that Lex and his people are making, or the music that will, really haunt you. Kind of lean into that vampire melancholy. I want something different.
Yeah. Oh, and I think actually what could be great is let's have it be yes and to yours, and if anyone wants to continue, please do. My idea for that off of that is, how about anytime a deal is going down, it's always done at one of Lex's shows, and that's the only thing that's keeping him having any sort of deal shows after he's spun out. Like, the only reason that you even have like day shows at all is because people need you to be people when they see the sign, like the paper sign out, like this shitty bar as this shitty guy who's going to be strung out and trying to play music. That's the code for all the other supernaturals need to go to that place in order to do
maybe
deals.
Merryweather thinks that, but I think Lex thinks the opposite.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, no, of course. I don't know if Lex could have no idea that any of this is even true. He might just think that everyone loves going to his shows.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brennan? Does any of this sound good to you?
It sounds good. Yeah. Lex's shows are definitely weird. So, and
how
have gotten much weirder since he died. So
yeah. How aware are you of the black market scene going on at your shows?
Probably way more aware than Merryweather thinks I am.
Okay, perfect. I can work with that. That's great.
And that's a big fun thing to lean on with Malkavians is are we are we insane, or do we have like a heightened sense of awareness? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
All right. So for people who are listening to the podcast and people who can't squint and see this, I will get the right aspect ratio. I apologize for that, but I plan on reading it anyways for the podcast listeners. Let me add this to the, actually, you know what? Let me just make it full screen as I possibly can right now. Oh, one of the little guy at the bottom ruined a little surprise, but okay.
Oh, yeah.
The Prince of Las Vegas is Archie Stewart. He's a Ventrue. He's often referred to as acting prince of the region for whatever reason. If you know a lot about vampire politics, if your character knows a lot about vampire politics, maybe you want to know. If not, play to find out. And he claims a long legacy hailing from the founding of the city in the late 1800s. He claims he came in with the railroad originally. He is kind of like his accent floats from Southern gent to like West Virginian. Like it's weird. It's not quite right. And he definitely has some Victorian baggage. And for the two people who are his temporal connection, he definitely seems as if he may have played both sides against each other in the Great War. And by that, I mean the Civil War. So not the Great War. So yeah, that guy. He is served by the Goon Squad, which is really just their nickname, but they don't have an official name. They are ghoul servants of the prince. It's very unusual for ghouls to be bossing around vampires, but there are so few vampires in this area, it just works. There's eyes, ears, and muscle. There are 6 of them, and they are basically interchangeable as far as you could tell. Even if you're a human, even if you're a little bit more sympathetic to humans than most vampires are, these guys are interchangeable. Note on what ghoul means.
Yeah.
If you eat human blood, you can turn them into your servant. We won't be weird about it, as not weird as possible. But these guys are sort of like powered up human servants. They're Reinfeld from Dracula.
Okay.
The Creep. This is I purposely
is that Bat Boy?
that is a skewed picture of Bat Boy. When anybody talks about the Creep, they describe a football headed, like think Hey Arnold football head with big bat ears, living in the sewer, smells like burnt hair. People assume it's a Nosferatu because it kind of fits. But then eventually they give up and they say he kind of looks like Bat Boy if you stretch him out a little bit. Nobody really knows its deal. People again assume it's a Nosferatu. It lives in the sewers, and it may be the scourge for the prince, which is like the thing that kind of an enforcer for the prince. But it's all legend, and we don't know. There's also evidence of cannibalism of his own offspring. If you've heard rumors that piles of ash can be found outside sewers entrance, it's like he's making offspring and then killing them because he's not supposed to be making offspring. And then there are these 2 other vampires. Weary and Wise is what they are called. What they call themselves. One's a gangrel. One is Tremere. They're a coterie, a vampire team. I don't know how else to describe it. A coterie of 2. They live well outside Las Vegas itself, rumored to lurk in the Gypsum Cave, which is about 15 miles away from Las Vegas proper. They are also relatively higher ranking and influential kind of vampires in that they have influence, but nobody comes to like Vampire City Hall and does business in Las Vegas. You go there, you do what you have to do, and you leave. So that's it. That's all the background we have for our characters. I think we have a through line that connects the 3 of you together, and we've got like a half hour to play. So we want to
right.
Good? Are we good to play? Can we do this?
I'm good.
All right.
Good.
So
Let's do it.
Let's say Merriweather. At some point during the morning. What is your humanity? What is your character's humanity?
Okay, let me bring up my sheet here. Where do I find that out?
It's at towards the bottom of your character sheet.
bottom of the character sheet. Merits, flaws, name. Humanity. I'm at 5.
Ooh, okay. So you are not bad for a vampire, but you are beginning to lose some of what makes you human. You don't act completely human most of the time, and you have problems moving around and acting during the daylight. So you got to get a phone call during morning hours, and you've told most of your people not to call you during the day, to leave messages or what have you, and that you work at night because it makes you more mysterious and because you're actually active. Do you want to take this call and work at a penalty with interacting with this person, or do you want them to leave a message but have no opportunity to interact with them while they are leaving you this message?
Oh no, I'll take the phone call. I mean, that's you don't get where he is by not making connections. So let's do it.
All right. So phone rings. You know the number. It's I'm sorry. Susan Smith. She is a big shot. In that she is she has a lot of money. She often does dip in. She's human, and she does dip into the black market sales that happen. Her brother-in-law is like chief of police in Las Vegas. So every once in a while, she's a good person to know. And yeah, she's calling you.
He picks it up. Susie Q, how we doing, hon?
Oh, darling, Matthew, I have the most exciting news.
Let's hear it.
Vampires.
What?
Vampires. I want everything you can get your hands on regarding vampires. Let's just say I have an in, and I know they're going to be the hot topic this year.
What, you get like Anne Rice coming to visit or something like that? Do you get like a book deal happening?
These are the interesting questions. Does Anne Rice exist in a world where this game is based on so much
fucking yes?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. I think all vampire lore that we know of exists in this world. I think that Bram Stoker wrote a great book that we are scared of.
Yes, and I think Kindred the Embraced, the show, we don't know yet because it didn't come out until the mid-90s. Fingers crossed. But definitely, there is a game company called the Black Dog Game Company that puts out a role-playing game where you could play vampires and other ghoulish monsters.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, yeah, Anne Rice is in.
The answer to the White Wolf. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And actually, that is a true White Wolf thing. Dog.
I love that.
Yes. Okay. Nice. Yes. Anne Rice, no, actual vampires, real vampires living amongst us. I am vibrating with excitement. Let's just say before the news gets out, I would put on a show. We need to put on an entire show. Oh, I'm so excited. I just can't. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I called you so early. Are you okay to talk?
Oh, I'm always out here for you, Susie. Yeah. So you want a vampire-themed party to go with your vampire news? All right. I'll start looking in. I can get some of the old Hollywood stuff shipped in. We can get some of the original Dracula set pieces. Get some coffins in here. We'll get the whole 9. You know what? Let's get some stuff in from Transylvania. I'll see if I can get some art brought in from there. Where are you thinking of having this? And frankly, if I'm going to be using international stuff too, might just need a little extra security. So maybe I need to get in contact with your brother at some point.
Oh, well, I'd rather he not know because, I mean, frankly, the reason why I'm so excited about this possibility is something he may have let loose, and I probably should not have been telling you about it. But just between you and I, in the next couple of days, they're going to reveal that there is an actual real-life vampire stalking Las Vegas.
Okay. Now,
give me a moment. All right, so have Merriweather roll. And mostly this is, I'll be honest, this is a way to try out the game mechanic.
Sure.
But make a I think manipulation expression or is there acting on this character sheet? There's so many different versions of this.
Okay,
I want
so
you to lie.
first off,
The stuff that actually works.
how do I do these together? I don't remember how we roll this.
So remember, we went through this last time. If you open up your character sheet in the very bottom, there's a dice pool. So
yes,
you pick
perfect.
the attribute and you pick the ability.
I'm doing manipulation and
subterfuge. I'm going to see if you can, when in your altered state, are you able to hide your reaction to her news?
100% done. Do I need any poll mod for this? Because you did say I was working at disadvantage.
Yes. So I'm actually not sure if this is a plus. We're going to make not the pool mod, but the next one we're going to make the difficulty 8, which is a little bit higher than it would be.
So right now, though, I just roll it and I don't do anything for difficulty here.
No, you put an 8.
Oh, 8. Okay, yeah, there we go. So 8, got it. Success.
Oh,
boom.
Cool. I was really disappointed. I thought the virtual.
Yeah, no, Merriweather's keeping this together. I mean, he's dying a little on the inside, freaking out, but he knows how to keep his composure.
Totally. Tell me how you rode through that encounter.
So as she's saying all of this, he's backed his stuff immediately up to a desk, and he has a pen and paper out in one hand. He's writing down everything she's saying, including all these little hints. And anytime he's talking, where he's not interacting, he's just writing the word "fuck" over and over again, like fuck. Like, oh shit. And so he's just sitting there. He's like, oh, so your brother is in? Oh, your brother's in on the. Okay, so. If this big reveal is going to happen, where do you want this to happen? We got to coordinate. I need help here. Point me in a direction.
So she doesn't really have she's sort of overwhelmed. So she's just going to spit out a bunch of nonsense about.
Would you like me to come up with a place for you?
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Yes, you have such a style for this. You know what? Honestly, I always thought you had a little bit of a vamp in you.
What? What? I know it.
You were born in the 20s. You're an old soul.
Oh well, I mean, I've read the books. I thought it's definitely a compliment. I got that great. You see my skin? Got the great skin. Got the great hair. Yeah, I'll take it. I love that nightlife.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we are the conversation pretty much wraps up any way you want it to wrap up. You got a decent amount of details, but really what you've determined is that her brother-in-law, the chief of police,
is connected.
That there were actual vampires. Somebody is an actual vampire killing people in Las Vegas.
So he says, all right, sweetie, I'll get right on that. You don't worry about a thing. I'll call you once I have a venue. Really quick, what's your time frame? When you be thinking about this?
And she gives you whatever you want her. Yeah.
A week? Like whatever.
Yeah. Something
1 week.
Quick turnaround because she thinks she got the inside scoop and she knows that vampire is going to be hit as soon as this killer is going to be announced.
All right. I will get you a venue ASAP. We'll give some wiggle room on the date. You get more information. How about this? You get me some more information about what you think you need, hun. You find out as much as you can about this. You get back to me, and I will set you up a great vampire party. All right?
All right. Yeah.
All right. You later. And then he hangs up that phone and immediately starts, he vomits. Oh, shit.
Nice blood vomit.
Yeah, no.
Delicious.
Yeah, I think that he's got to have a secretary, or a boy who helps run his company. So I think he just hits the button and he's like, no more calls for a while, and I'll come up with a name for this character later. Or Frank, if you want to have fun with it and create my little dumb NPC here,
you know what? Hey, people who are watching, if you want to name this page boy,
yeah, please do. Give me a very fun.
It might be Quackenbush.
Vote now on your phones.
Yeah, right. So yeah, so he just pages interest really quick, hold my calls, and. Yeah, hold my calls. Just ends there and goes and I think he opens his mini fridge and pulls out whatever he has in there to just start drinking. Okay, really quick. In this universe, can they only drink blood, or can they consume other things as well?
What if they mix the alcohol with blood? Is that okay?
Questions in this game two ways. I'm going to answer just for the absurdity of it. From what I remember in official White Wolf World of Darkness, and then as the actual storyteller here, what we're going to go with. I think somebody named the character
Lucius
again.
Alley.
Yeah, there we go.
That's
Perfect.
really good. Good job, Facebook user.
Lucius is.
I think if you're on Twitch, we can actually show your name and profile. But thank you, Facebook user.
Perfect, Lucius. I got to make a note of that.
Yes, Lucius Ali. For those of you listening to the podcast, is what came up. So yes, the official answer is there are actual merits you can take, as in a merits and flaws system, where you can look like you're eating.
Okay,
you could actually
feign eating.
Yeah. So, and you'd have to regurgitate it later on because you can't actually eat anything. So there you go. I'm sure there's also supernatural alcohol or some sort of like blood alcohol. Or like
you want to get drunk. You go and you suck the blood of a drunk person. That's
there you go.
See, okay, I actually really like those rules. I like the idea that like they can't digest because they don't have a system that allows that because they're dead. So like eating food,
feel like
just
you
collecting whatever's in there in your stomach for a while until you get rid of it.
I think you could process it. I just don't think you get any nutrients from it, right? It's like eating cardboard. Like there's no point. But it's if the cardboard was tasty.
Yes.
So to answer my question, cardboard. I'm going. He goes in and he just pulls out just a whiskey, pours it, takes a shot back, and then. Are we going with he immediately vomits it again because that's how this register doesn't work? Yeah, he takes the shot, pukes it up, and then he has a spittoon. He just like
that's such a corridor thing. It's just the aesthetic for you. You're like,
no. His whole place is filled with it, and he knows. I mean, he lived back when you still shared a drink with everyone. He remembers what exhaustion and anxiety feels like. So, and then just does it. Yeah, he doesn't need it. He's not getting drunk off it. It's just habit.
All right. So who do you contact? You said you were going to make some calls, I think.
So I guess I'm going to call Charlie here.
Yeah, I was figuring that like I'm definitely. Whenever you have these events, I probably am security because I am hired muscle, and I do that kind of thing, and people know not to fuck with me. So, it would be a good idea to have somebody who could bash some heads.
Yeah, I'm probably going to give both these guys a call at different points, but let's start with Charlie. So do you have you? Where are you?
I think we in planning phases we were thinking that we all worked for a casino. So my guess would be that the casino part of my deal is that I work partially for room and board, so I have like a hotel room.
Sure.
And you probably know the number for it.
Yeah, no, I guess my question is, are you on the floor or not? Because since it's a casino, you can be there at any time of day. You're not going to run into the sun. Right? That's part of the reason we picked this setting was because...
that's actually a cool a bit of flavor. Do you actually wait for the sun to go down to start calling people, or are you trying?
I think that he wants to get out ahead of this thing as quick as possible.
My follow-up is going to be like, whoever he calls, are you awake?
Yeah.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
So I think Charlie prefers early mornings. She's used to that sort of wake up when the crow calls schedule, and she's never really given that up. So
you can't get that out of the cow. That's awesome. As a cowboy,
all right. So then,
you're You
Yeah.
want to be up during. That's great. I love that.
So since it's during the day,
Yeah.
I think that he knows that you'd be working the floor of the casino.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna go down and find your table. And since it's daytime in Vegas, no, I'm not gonna make that choice. I'm gonna go sit down at your table, and you can tell me if there's anybody else sitting there and how long you're gonna keep them there. If now that I've sat across from you, because I don't just play, I don't gamble.
Yeah.
So Meriwether has not gained all of his money by gambling. So he goes and sits at your table, puts $500 down, and sends it across to you for chips.
She'll exchange his chips. There's like one person who like they've clearly been up all night. Like they're terrible. Like they're playing awfully. I think she takes shifts at different tables, and since poker you need more than one person, it's probably she's at the blackjack table right now. So
yeah.
they just keep hitting no matter what cards they get.
Meriwether watches this and he just turns through and says, "Hey there, so I will give you $100 to stop, just $100 chip to stop playing."
I'll take it. And he puts it down. Red.
It's blackjack, sweetheart.
Oh, where's the craps? Where's the wheel?
Oh,
to the
roulette,
right.
Roulette is over there, that way, to the right. Here you go. Take your.
He stumbles on that way, and he is offered drinks by no less than 3 different waiters or waitresses.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Yes. So the two of you are alone, or about as alone as you're going to get at this time.
Mhm.
So there's a development, and I'm going to need a couple of things. But from you specifically, Charlie, I'm going to need a muscle. So since that's your forte, I figure that wouldn't be that hard, right? You'll get good pay. It's a good night's work. I'm also going to need. I'm working on a venue, and I'm going to need to probably get a hold of somebody close to the prince, or maybe talk to somebody who's a little older. There's a small issue, and it's gonna need to be resolved in a very nice, calm way, but it's probably going to be better sounding coming from somebody who's a little further up the historic temporal chain. Use our word there, temporal chain.
Every time,
so I'm going to either need you or somebody of your time to accompany me when we make this. Make this little parlay with the prince.
I would just like to say that Red/Charlie is exactly the face I expected Charlie to be.
like
yeah. Yeah.
Very cowboy face. Like,
Yeah.
Perfect. This is yeah. So, would you be willing to? I mean, definitely need you muscle for that night, but also, would you be willing to be my muscle when I go see the prince?
I can be muscle, but I'm not much of a talker.
Oh no, I'll talk. Don't you worry. That's my piece. That's my thing. I'll talk. I'm just gonna need the gravitas that comes with your blood, with your generational bit. The fact that you're a little older, a little closer to the throne, might help me.
What is going on? Why are you so agitated?
It's best left unsaid at the moment. You'll hear all about it when we see the prince, because there's no way around this. I'm gonna have to talk this through. Right now, though, trust me, you're much happier not knowing exactly the nightmare we're in.
I think what would just a good moment. I'm just going to make this a suggestion.
Yeah, go for it.
Because Merriweather is being so evasive, because I believe just loving all the spotlight. This would be a good time for Lex to literally just wander in, if you wish, and say, "What's going on?" Because we do want to get
this
you
is on
in
the floor of the casino.
Yeah.
Is this on the floor of the casino?
It is, but it is. We've established it's relatively early in the morning, and there aren't that many people there.
Yeah, I'm coming home right now to this hotel.
Do I?
Just
And
staggering
so,
in.
here's the question: do you catch sight of me, or do I catch sight of you? Because either way works.
You'll definitely catch sight of me.
I'm going to see you, and I'm. Lex, come over here, please. Come here,
Lex
sweetie.
kind of wanders over. Lex is wearing a silk dressing gown looking thing over some leather pants, no shirt.
Take a seat over here. Here's some chips, and he just throws a pile of. He doesn't even look. He just puts them in front of you.
And Lex starts to play blackjack.
Yeah, I was gonna say Charlie's still happy to deal.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah, this whole time, just I'm flipping cards. I'm not even looking.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I lost. Whatever. So, Lex, when's your next show?
Well, isn't that something that you would be telling me?
Well, I didn't know if you had anything lined up already. If not, we'll get you a show. We'll get you one. I was just kind of hoping you already
had gigs. So
okay. Well, that solves that problem. You're going to be doing a show for us soon. Just I'm going to need you to do another performance. We're going to have another, coffee clutch / battle of the bands type situation where I need you up there on stage, rocking and rolling, while some of my business associates and I have a meeting. Is that okay with you? Pay's good.
Pay's always good.
That's true. It's true.
Before this goes any further, what incarnation are you talking about?
There's going to be a party.
No. Not the party. You are cagier than a pig in a slaughterhouse. So tell me what is going on.
I need to facilitate a celebration for a client who is ready to reveal some major news to the world. Think of it like the gravitas of like a baby shower, but like way bigger and more terrifying.
Terrifying baby shower. I think I can work.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah,
That
right? Like that
means absolutely nothing. And you know it. What? Just be straight with me. What the hell is going on?
We're throwing a vampire party.
Nice.
Oh, what?
Vampire themed party for a client who believes that vampires are real and supposedly has proof.
And you haven't already killed this person?
I talked to them on the phone, and I haven't gotten the ability to reach through and strangle anyone yet, though I have been trying.
That's wild, man.
I could
That's a third.
I just need I just need the address. I can go kill him right now.
They're a mover and shaker in the region, and their familial contacts are powerful, and not anything that we nor the prince would want to get too caught up in, I would think. So we have to approach this with more of a silk glove than a hammer. So rather than just sending, if I thought I just giving you a couple of bucks and having you put a bullet in their head would solve this problem, you'd be out the door already. I would have your shift covered. But it's not going to be that simple.
So what's the plan?
We
a
are
baby
not.
shower for vampires, weren't you?
Yeah.
listening?
Yes, baby shower for vampire. We're going to be revealing to the world. No, we're going. I have to, at least for the sake of this client, put on the airs that this is going to be happening. I need to have the setup, but we aren't going forward with anything until we've talked to some royalty. I want to know what they want my play to be, but also I can't not run a business. So I agreed. Which is probably a bad idea, but at this point, what can you do?
I love role playing later in life. There's definitely a point when there's a body has been discovered. Let's go investigate. Becomes a business.
I have to. I am accustomed to a specific lifestyle, and I am not going to give that up.
Unlifestyle.
Yeah.
All right. Just quick roundtable on where we are all mentally. Where's Charlie?
Charlie. So here's the thing. Charlie's a very straightforward person. Charlie just wants to kill the problem and make it go away.
That's what you do. I mean, it makes sense.
That's my whole thing. I kill people and I make them go away.
I like it. All right, Lex.
I'm going to throw a baby shower for vampires that's going to blow your fucking mind.
Lex tuned out the entire part of we're not really going to do this, but good. I like it. Excellent. All right, and Merriweather, you have a lot to say.
Merriweather is panicking in every way, shape, or form that they can panic. They have no idea where this is going, but I mean, yeah.
We can't show your name or profile. Twitch, we can. But yes, I agree. Very relatable.
For our podcast listeners, Facebook has said, "I need to run a business" is the most relatable roleplay move.
100%. Yeah,
absolutely. Also, I believe minus 42. If the timing on this went right, you're the one who suggested Lucius Ali for the name of the page boy. Thank you very much.
Yes.
For those of you listening to the podcast or planning on listening to watching future versions of this, follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/nonproductive. It's a little bit more interactive than on the Facebook group. But yes, it is an incredibly relatable mood. And I am excited to find out what happens. I think we're pretty much at the end of our hour. Let's wrap up. Special thank you to all our patrons. You folks keep the lights on and keep
I'm one of the patrons.
Thank you very much. Non.com/nonpro. If you'd like to chip in and be part of a really lame graphic that pops up on the screen about 5 minutes too late. Other than that, I think, we know what's going to happen next week. We're going to be playing at 8:00 Eastern time, the most original, most evocative game of how do I run my live events management business in these troubling times.
Featuring cowboys and washed up 80s glam rockers.
Yes.
Everything you need for a vampire baby shower.
Yeah. So, God, vampire baby shower. Is it too late to rename this game?
It is never too late.
Vampire baby shower.
I like that you said vampire baby shower, but more terrifying.
Yes.
Baby showers are pretty terrifying.
See, here's the thing. When you were going to describe it, I was like, I feel like this is like a baby shower kind of thing. And then you went right there. So I'm glad we're all on the same
Yes,
page.
absolutely.
This is the world of darkness. This is
Vampire
all right,
baby
good night,
showers.
everybody. We love doing this, and we hope you enjoyed it. And yes, I guess download the podcast, subscribe if you're listening to this in podcast land. I guess you would have already subscribed. So we need nothing from you except for the Patreon thing. That we definitely
You don't know, they could just be trying it out. So please subscribe.
Oh yeah, that too. All right,
this is actually a really good. We should really be pitching. This is the perfect place for people to jump on. Like, yes, podcast listeners.
Yeah, all right, okay. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, like and review. 5-star reviews. That'd be great.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Join our Patreon. Welcome to the new arc. If you are enjoying the comedy stylings, feel free to listen to our space adventure as well.
Yes.
That one starts with episode 1.
Also,
and now you get to see our beautiful faces.
Kindred the Embraced with Alex. Just hit him up on Twitter.
Actually, like legit,
watch party, Alex.
Can we do? Can we like make that as a patron goal for the season? Like, is do a watch party of the first episode of this together or
we
something?
will watch Kindred the Embrace with you. If you hit a certain number. We're putting it up next week. It'll be there.
No, legit. We should do through the Twitch, through the Discord and Twitch channel. We should definitely stream something. That'd be great.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Hey there, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Dungeon Not Included. If you did, please tell a friend and leave us a 5-star review and encouraging comments on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. It really does help spread the word for new shows like ours. You can follow the latest from the Dungeon Not Included crew on Twitter at DNI Crew, and over at Facebook at Dungeon Not Included, or at our home on the Non-Productive Network at non-productive.com/DNI Crew, where you can find articles, character sheets, and Patreon exclusives, as well as our latest episodes. Thanks!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.